some of the channels where the police and other like police bootlickers, they get on Facebook and they start their little channel, and they like to they got a lot of other police officers that are subscribed to them and everything, and you can really get to see how police officers think whenever you look at their comments on these type of videos. Like right now, this guy here has got a video. Let me see if I can see where the beginning or whatever. Like, see, when a sovcit or sovereign citizen finally goes to prison for making threats. All right. They do not like well, God, how can I even? Where do I even start? This isn't the sovereign citizen movement at all. This is absolutely opposite of the sovereign citizen. For some reason, they can't get it in their pointy little heads. It's kind of weird, but they're very sadistic. They're very sadistic people, and I would go as far as saying they're like devil worshippers, probably. Because look at this guy. Look at this. I pray to God that a law is written that disallows these people from being able to talk to officers like this diabolical behavior, and I'm so thankful he's in jail. All right, so name it. Let's see here. There you go. Too little, too late. They need to act faster and more often. I second this motion. I love when they start swearing and throwing insults when they don't get their way. LOL. I know here in Florida, police or a family member can put someone in a mental ward for 48 hours or for observation, and that guy with motorcycle was acting unhinged. He's a perfect candidate for that law. I think they call it the Baker Act. And then this guy says, needs to be 6 foot under, preferably still alive, so he can waste his oxygen talking about laws he doesn't understand. That's right, good old Baker Act. Giving journalists a bad name, putting journalists in a bad light, protecting our constitutional rights. As far as I can tell, there isn't a right to not be intimidated in this context. Intimidation in the 42 Section 1985 context refers to conspiracies that involve intimidation of federal officers, federal, state witnesses, jurors, voters, etc. Started reading a lot of cases since March 2020. It's not just about the length of time, but the quality of the study. But I don't know what all these saying. But what I'm trying to get at is whenever you go through some of these things, and you can see, I would say that this frauder is deliberately posing as a trans to use as battering ram. He's acting like a lunatic, which is why so many police are out there. He's confrontational and aggressive. These idiots got a cell phone, blah, blah, blah. So now I'm wondering why they aren't telling him that he is showing aggression, and based off his actions, they are detaining him for public safety. This is what I want to see. Finally, these ignorant fools getting what they deserve. And of course, they don't use their real name when they do that. He will not get away for this in Alaska. The law or someone else would take care of this individual and his cohorts. They are rude, foul-mouthed, combative, and unfit for polite society. Google Evans and just listen to their cursing. Okay. He is the one butthurt, not the police. Where the hell are all these lawsuits they threaten? I'd love to see those videos. Let's see what somebody wrote on there. They never file any suits, and I've never heard any officers lose their jobs. They don't know how to follow up. That's why they're so bad at investigations. Personally, if I'm outside and someone walks up to me and I feel intimidated, I'm leaving the area and not telling that person to leave. I mean, they're intimidating me, so how can I tell them to leave? I've met a couple of slow learners after 10 years and you still haven't passed the bar. Another 10 years should do it. No, you're not. But see, this is the kind of drivel that you're seeing. And you get to see, how some of these officers just really, let's see, what's this? Making fun of them. I posted to YouTube. That makes me a journalist. Yeah, see, I don't know. It's rough. These people are bad news. And these cops, these guys that are doing the First Amendment auditing, the only people that they are repugnant to are bad cops. Because there's thousands of videos out there where like really, really good cops out there are just walk up and they don't really care. They're like, okay, it's your right to do that, no problem and everything, and then they just discuss it with the person and then they go and that's it. You know what I mean? So it's not repugnant to a good cop. The only cops that it's repugnant to are the bad cops, the ones that are afraid that they're not going to be allowed to break the law the way that they've been able to do in the past. And they don't like that. I have a feeling it's partly, gang type retaliation and stuff like that they're interested in, because they do act very childlike. And the bad thing is, I've noticed that a lot of the even captains and chiefs and sheriffs and stuff like that, majors, lieutenants, they all act like that. They all have that same hatred and they have that same childlike attitude towards it, like child bully attitude. And the funny thing is that I've talked to even a lot of lieutenants and majors and stuff like that do understand what the First Amendment audit is doing and what it's about. And they literally will tell me on the phone that, that they have no problem with it whatsoever, and they don't really understand why these other officers are having the problem with it. And I try to tell them it's because you're working with bad people. Corruption is born out of power. Power corrupts. That's how it is. So anyways, I just wanted to let people know and let people see this, that these police officers that are so sadistic are the ones that we're targeting. And we want to get those off the street, because the good officers can't do anything about it because their hands are tied. They're in the club. You know what I mean? They're in that thing. They will lose their job. They'll lose their family. They'll lose something. They're afraid of these other officers. So we're the only ones. The ones of us that aren't afraid of these officers are the only ones that can rise up. And if we have to force them into, well, not really force, but if we have to exercise our rights and they choose to do the bad deed by violating those rights, then that means that they got caught in the trap. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as whenever the guy that gets caught in the prostitution trap. He goes into the hotel with a woman thinking he's going to get laid, and next thing you know, she flashes a badge and 10 guys come out and jump on him. They baited him. They baited the guy, and the guy got arrested. He took the bait. So they got the bad guy. So here we go. If we bait officers with the Constitution and they take the bait, if we give them the opportunity to violate it and they take the bait, then that means that we just caught a bad guy. You know what I mean? And hopefully we can get that bad guy off the street, the same way that the good police get, the real bad guys off the street. And that's the only thing I can think of. So I'm going to start trying to get involved in this as much as I can. And I just wanted to show people this crap. And this guy, Zebra The bicycle frauditor. That's what they call them. They call them people frauditors. You know, look at that. So I don't know. It's bad news. And these cops that you see all here, those are the ones that we're gonna try to get off the streets, because those people are the ones that you know, what is it? Like, look at this Matty 2x4. You know, just it's childish, like child stuff. The louder they scream, the more insults they throw, the less of a threat their legal bullshit is. And that threat level wasn't very high to begin with. You know, I don't know. They just, it's weird how let's see here. I don't know. It's just weird how the cops can get on here and have their own little channels, and it shows such vileness, you know, and such vile hatred. So anyways, I'm gonna sign out. Peace.